Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, welcome back. Hey, what's up you guys? It's me, Luke, and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I tried my best to make myself look presentable today, but it is a Saturday morning, and I did go out last night and get home at 2 a.m. Anyways, if you're new here, I post commentary and critique videos every single week, some more comedic, some more on the serious side. So if any of that interests you, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload. Go on, I know you want to click it. That was so cringy. In fact, I can actually hear people unsubscribing. Anyway, guys, so if you have not been around, you may not know that I've actually been doing a after show special to Shane Dawson's new series with Jeffree. I did my commentary on the first 2 episodes in the series, and whew, if you've not seen those videos, I highly recommend you go watch them because, honey, you are truly missing out. So I'll go ahead and link them down below for you to get all caught up. But in today's video, I'm doing my commentary on the 3rd episode in the series, and it is called The Dangerous World of Jeffree. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this episode feels extremely different from the other 2 in a few ways. I mean, for one, even just the thumbnail was very different. It was very reminiscent of the old Shane thumbnails, almost reminded me of the Tanacon one where it was like just their faces in the thumbnail. It didn't have kind of the glitz and the glam that the previous thumbnails had. So I was a little, not apprehensive, but I was a little, You know, the last 2 episodes were so good and we're on such a high. I was kind of wondering what to expect with this one, especially because Shane had been hyping it up so much and said it was one of his favorites in the series. And I do understand why it is his favorite in the series. We'll get to it at the end. But to be honest, guys, I was kind of underwhelmed with this episode. I'm not sure what it is because, you know, they were talking about exciting things in the video. They were talking about, you know, the controversy that Shane had with his cat earlier in the year where people think that he did something inappropriate to it. And then we also had Jeffree robbery where somebody broke into his warehouse and everything. But something about this episode felt a lot more mellow, a lot less exciting than the previous episodes. I'm not sure if it was because of the way it was edited or anything, but do not get me wrong, there was still a lot of sentimental value in this video and I did really enjoy it. And I do have some things to say. I just don't have as much to say as previous videos because there just wasn't as much tea spilled in this video. There was a little bit, but I'm just thirsty. I'm thirsty for more. But then again, that could just be because I'm dehydrated from all the vodka I drank last night. But anyway, moving on. So let's go ahead and get started. So the video starts at 2 a.m. in the morning, and Shane is sitting in his kitchen with a drunk Morgan, honestly hilarious, relate to her so much on that level, and he is talking about a recent controversy that broke. So we all know that here on the internet, people love to go ahead and dig up people's past and bring out controversial stuff they did 5 years ago, and why people give a shit about it, I personally do not know. So if you do not know, there was a huge controversy in the beginning of the year about Shane Dawson because he made a joke on his podcast that he fucked his cat. Okay, I honestly don't know how to say it otherwise, okay?
As the clip resurfaced, Shane has been steadily losing subscribers and is being dragged all across social media. In a lengthy Twitter thread, Shane apologized and clarified that he has never done any of the things described in the clip to his cat.
Now, as someone who's been a fan of Shane Dawson since 2012, I remember listening to that podcast and I didn't really think anything of it because Shane just made jokes like that back in the past. Like, if you just watch anything, like if you go watch Filthy Frank or anything from the past, you'll know that humor back then was extremely offensive and people were not as sensitive back then as they are now. That being said, of course it's a really gross joke and I get why people would be grossed out about it, but the problem with a lot of people in today's internet culture and cancel culture is that people like to look at things through a 2019 lens when you can't do that. Like, for example, if you go watch a TV show like Friends, which was made in the 90s, there's a huge lack of representation, there's offensive jokes, there's like a little bit of misogyny, like all this type of stuff, but the show was made in the 90s, okay? You can't give crap to the people who made Friends and people in Friends for that because it was made almost 30 years ago in a different time period to now. So that's the thing, is people never look at things in the context of which the time it was created, and that's when we have issues like this, is people bringing up shit from Shane's past, and it creates this whole drama and whole controversy, and people on the internet just love to run with things and love to just make a mountain out of a molehill, okay? And that is a prime example of what happened in this episode. So I did think it was interesting to go ahead and see kind of the behind the scenes of the controversy and how that affected Shane, and I also thought it was interesting how Shane took a different turn. You know, with all the previous stuff that has come up in the past, he's always gotten so emotional and let it get the better of him, and this time he kind of put his foot down and was like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. People are just using this to get to me, they're just using it to bring me down. Why don't I just go ahead and use it to my advantage to sell my palette?
The palette hasn't even come out. We still have months to go. The series hasn't even come out yet, and I'm already canceled. Everything that keeps coming up is from the past. All my old videos, all my controversial jokes, it literally is all old ass stale tea. I'm not gonna stress out anymore. I'm not gonna let it ruin my life anymore. I'm I'm not gonna let the drama ruin my life. I need to start using it to my advantage.
And you know what, that is what a lot of people do. I'm very interested in like public relations and PR and all that type of stuff, and I think it is super interesting to go ahead and see the marketing ploys that people do, because do not tell me that it's a coincidence that just after Kylie Jenner and Travis's cheating scandal breaks out, Kylie releases some new products and Travis releases a new song. Like, celebrity culture is so messed up in that way that they will do anything and they will fake anything just for clout and for views so that they can sell stuff and make money. So it honestly wouldn't surprise me if he were to do that in the future with a palette. Maybe he could do it to kind of pull the finger at the people who try bring him down. So I think that would be really interesting. You know, Cheeto is so cute. It was so funny to me. Not funny, but like, I don't know, it was funny. Like, anytime they were talking about this, because it was so obviously not real and so obviously a joke. Like, he didn't actually fuck his cat, I hope. But they would just like zoom in on Cheeto, and Cheeto's just like so confused as to what the hell is going on. And oh my god, even Jeffree at one part in the video was like, how's Cheeto doing? Did he hear about the rumors? And I just, oh, I live for that. You know, speaking of pets, something else that got me really emotional in this video is, if you do not know, Jeffree's dog Daddy recently passed away, and a few months ago his other dog Diamond passed away. And oh my god, I feel so bad for Jeffree, because like, his dogs are like his children, they're his life, and lately he's just been crying on Snapchat and he's just really been going through it. So Shane at the end of this video dedicated the video to the dogs, and you got to see the dogs in the video, and I don't know, it just broke my heart seeing Jeffree connecting with these dogs, knowing that they're no longer here. I don't know, it just got me really emotional. This whole episode got me really emotional, especially something else. We'll get to it at the end. Yeah, so that was really touching. And once again, in this episode, we got to see more of Shane and Jeffree's relationship and their bond. And something about this episode, like, I think the editing was just toned down a little bit. I mean, for Shane and Andrew, of course, they're still gonna have their intense dramatic effects, but it was toned down a little bit to the point where you got to see more of their real side. But what was really interesting about this episode was kind of what happens in the makeup world and how people try and bring other people down. So what was really interesting was, in this episode, as while Shane was going through the smear campaign that somebody was causing with him and his cat, Jeffree was going through his own issues where somebody had actually broken into one of his warehouses and stolen $1 million worth of merchandise. Now, if you remember, this occurred in the beginning of the year, and you know, that's another thing, is like, the timeline of this is so pushed back that a lot of everything that's happened we already know has occurred. And while it is nice to see it on camera, it also loses its effect because we already know what happened. Part of me thinks it would have been cool if it was kept private, but then again, it is a really big thing that happened to Jeffree. And there were still some interesting details that we got to learn that we did not before, about how the burglars actually cut a hole through the ceiling and went in and like destroyed all the security cameras. That was interesting. I didn't know they cut a hole in the roof. That was next level. But yeah, you could honestly just see how shook Jeffree was, considering not only did they steal a bunch of his products, but they stole his concealer before it even released. So, you know, some brand could have, you know, replicated the formula or replicated the design or anything along those lines, and obviously that's a really huge deal. And I did think it was interesting, as I feel like as the series going on, I'm learning more and more how much money there is to be made in the beauty industry, and how makeup, like Jeffree says, is a hot commodity, like a diamond. And once again, I think I'm in the wrong industry. But anyway, so I think that was interesting, and like, it was just so serious. Like, Jeffree was like, you know, we are turning this place into a fortress. We have armed guards on 24 hours. They are sleeping here. We are not letting anybody get in here again. And I was like, I'm a little shook. That was intense. I mean, he was even speaking about how he hired an investigator who might have found it somewhere in Mexico, and how they were gonna infiltrate it, buy it, and then like get to the bottom of this. And I still do not know if they've got to the bottom of this. Like, let me know in the comments below if they have, but I'd be really curious as to what would happen, because I mean, he's a multi-million-dollar company. Oh, something else I didn't mention is when Shane was talking about his smear campaign, he said that it could have been blank, and like they said influencer name, and I think all of us know who that is. I mean, if you don't, it is 100% Onision. If you don't know who Onision is, he's like this irrelevant YouTuber who was like one of Shane's enemies, but like now he like makes videos about Shane, but like nobody even notices them. Like in episode 1, when Shane was talking about how there were YouTubers who made videos about his weight, that was actually Onision, but like I didn't even know that, because that's how irrelevant Onision is. So that was definitely him, like 110%. I wouldn't even be surprised. So yeah, I don't know, I just thought that was really interesting to chuck in there. But anyways, jumping a little bit ahead to the actual shade. So it was pretty exciting in this episode to go ahead and see everything that was created in the previous episode come to life. So we got to actually see the different shade names, and we got to see them swatch them, and ooh, those shades look so pigmented. And I don't know, like, I'm not even a makeup person, but like I was kind of like, oh damn, I can't wait to get my hands on that. Like, those colors were so like rich, and they look like paint. I'm an artiste, if you don't know. I painted those behind me, so I don't know, I was just really like in love with the colors. I don't know, I just thought it was so interesting how Jeffree was like organizing them like a little puzzle, and like Andrew played the dramatic music, and it was fun. I thought that was cool, and all the different names and everything. Oh, Jeffree had a little shady moment. I mean, it wouldn't be a video with Jeffree if he didn't. And they were talking about the Tanacon shade. That's confirmed. Like, they actually have a shade called Tanacon, which is so ironic and so funny to me, because now Tanacon, which is something that Tana Mojo has tried to escape so many times, she could just never escape it. Like, now it's going to be a shade that lives on forever. Anytime somebody's doing like a makeup tutorial, they'll just be like, so I'm just gonna go in with the Tanacon shade on my upper eyelid. As you can see, it's got kind of a sunburnt hue. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but I don't know, I just think it's really funny. Also, Jeffree, ooh, so shady. And he's like swatching the color for Tanacon and he's like, wow, this is so nice. Almost too nice to be named after her.
Such a good shade.
Yeah.
Wow, it might be too nice naming this after her.
And I just about spat out, well, my saliva, because I wasn't drinking anything at the time, but you get the point. And then Shane's like, just dip into Tanacon, and then dip out real quick. And then Jeffree's like, or it might not even show up at all. And I was just living. I'm living for the shade. See, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want a bit of tea, a bit of shade, a bit of drama. And there wasn't much of that in this episode. Anyways, something else I thought was really funny when they were talking about the shades was how they were being so dramatic. Like, people could wear this at their wedding, they'll wear it at their job interview, they'll wear it, you know, when they're making love to have children. And then like Jeffree or Andrew was like, that shade could be the reason that you brought a child into the world. Your makeup could bring children into the world. And I just thought that was so funny.
Wait, what if the only reason why somebody fucks somebody is because they're so attractive because they're wearing that? You're bringing children into the world. Whoa.
Wow.
Like, I live for the dramatics. I needed more of that in this episode. So something else that I really enjoyed was all the different products that they were talking about. Like, they were going to come out with the piggy mirror and how they're going to have all these different photo shoots with like the black and white spirals for Shane's conspiracy videos, and how they're going to have like a flat earth photo shoot. Like, do not get me wrong, I found this episode interesting. I thought it was interesting to see the behind the scenes, but I think maybe just because the last two episodes were so exciting and so enjoyable, this episode just felt really flat to me. I was just kind of, I don't know, I didn't have many laughs, I didn't have many shocks. Like, I was just kind of watching it, and I don't know, it just kind of underwhelmed me. I feel like Shane hyped it up so much, and I think that the reason he did that was because, if you do not know, Shane and Rylan are engaged, and that is kind of where this video ends. And do not get me wrong, while this episode wasn't that exciting to me or anything, it was very touching. Like, seeing all these old clips of, you know, Shane and Rylan when Shane first got Uno when he was a puppy, and Cheeto, and Morgan was in this video, and we just got to see like all these little moments of their life, which I thought was really cute. And then we got to see the proposal, which of course was really cute, and you had Rylan's family there, and they're so supportive, and they were all wearing Jeffree Star tracksuits, which I thought was really funny. So like, this episode was really touching, like, for sure. You know what I mean? It's just that, like, where's the tea? Where's the tea? Like, that's what I want. I'm thirsty, Shane. I'm thirsty. My cup is empty, okay? Just give me something, just a drop, just a little something, something. You know, especially considering after the last episode, we had this preview where Morgan was with Shane and they were talking about all this drama with YouTubers. Like, he hyped up this episode so much and it just felt so flat. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one in this. I'd really love to know what you guys think, because while it was a touching and emotional episode, it just felt flat for me. Like, wasn't exciting. I don't know, like, I feel like it could have been condensed into another episode. Like, I don't know, I'm just a bit nervous. I'm a bit nervous how Shane is going to deliver in his other episodes, because this is episode 3 and there's 9. So he has 6 episodes left, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make every single one exciting, and I just hope that we don't have another Jake Paul series on our hands where it's like dragged out beyond belief, because Shane, I need content, okay? It was really difficult to come up for notes with this video. But that being said, guys, this video was really short and I do apologize, but there's only so much that I can speak on, and I did still want to do my after special show for this one, as I'm doing it for all of Shane's new videos. So make sure that you're subscribed and have the notifications bell on so that you don't miss any of them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't seen my last videos, go over and watch those, as well as the new videos on my second channel. They will be linked down below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down below what your thoughts are. I would love to know what you think of it. What do you think is going to come next? I feel like we need drama. There should be drama in the next episode. I think there will be. Here's to fingers crossed, okay? I need the behind the scenes of Dramageddon. I need that. My soul needs the answers, okay? Anyway, guys, that's it for me in this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you in my next one. And of course, I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you're in the world. Bye!